A federal prison where he was running an illegal dogfighting operation. There's no such thing as legal dogfighting, but I'm just saying that's what he went to prison for, and gave him a second chance. That very organization that gave Michael Vick a second chance had a receiver on that team utter the atomic bomb of racial slurs. Riley Cooper said the N-word. Not only did they not release him, they gave him a contract extension.
And I called for his release the next day. It's the most evil word in our language. Go ahead.
And if you remember, Michael Vick was sitting right there, and he said in the meeting, Chip Kelly, Michael, what should we do? He put the black guy on the spot.
He did.
What was Michael going to say? Release him?
I don't know. We had Michael on the show, and I cross-examined him about that because I thought maybe in hindsight Michael would say, I regret that, but he didn't. He thought that was a bold and important statement for him to make. But go ahead.
Riley Cooper got a contract.
Yep, and he did.
Even the owner, Jeffrey Lure, wrote and said, hey, he regrets that it happened. He apologized. Everybody deserves a second chance, and we're ready to move on. That's what he said with that incident. We have John Mara, who's co-owner of the New York Giants. He gave a guy 2 years, $4 million contract after the guy told him, I abused my wife. Now, John Mara was very out front and says he received some of the harshest letters he's ever received, talking about Colin Kaepernick. Yet he said nothing about what fans potentially said about the Josh Brown signing. You see how hypocritical that is, Skip? But what we're starting to see is that people, the owners, not people, and some people too, but the owners view what Colin Kaepernick did worse than a guy that went to prison for dogfighting, worse than a guy using the racial epithet, worse than a guy that abused his wife and told you he did it. That's what we're starting to see, Skip. The problem that I have is twofold on the lot. Because I have the utmost respect for our young men and women of the military because they give their life and some of them have to pay the ultimate sacrifice. But we'll send those brave young men and women to a foreign soil and ask them to fight for freedoms and liberties of people that's not American citizens. But we're very hesitant to fight for the very citizens that represent the United States of America. Why is that, Skip? And we're not asking you to give your life. You don't even have to leave the country. We're asking you to lend us your voice. That when you hear something and you see something that's wrong and you know it's wrong, how about you speak out and not remain silent? Dr. King says it's not the bad people doing. He said it's the silent people that don't speak out against it. This is so embarrassing. And what the town hall showed me what Steve Sharpe did is that he didn't want to make the decision. He was willing to pass the buck. It's kind of like, Skip, when Ernestine comes out and says, Skip, which one? She wants you to make the decision because she doesn't want to. Steve,
I'm going to lose it.
Exactly. But Steve Sharpe, he doesn't want to make the decision. Because in all these instances, when they signed Michael Vick, did Mr. Lurie go to the sponsors and the fans? I agree. What do you think? With Riley Cooper, what do you think?
No.
They didn't do any of that, Skip. But they want to pass the buck. And they're quick to say everybody deserves a second chance. Colin Kaepernick does not deserve a second chance because he did nothing wrong to ruin the first chance that he got. He kneeled in front of the flag and he's asking, Skip, you go to church. I pray every night. And every night I fall on my knees and I say the very same words come out every time. I say, dear Heavenly Father, our gracious and most Heavenly Father, I come to thee in the most humble way I know how. A bowed head, bent knee. He's on a knee. And he's going before the American flag. And he says, America, there's something wrong in our society, in our communities. And I'm asking that our innocent young men and women, unarmed, black and brown men and women are being killed. And I'm not asking, all I'm asking, because we know who's doing it. These are not cold cases. These are not unsolved mysteries. We know who do it. And a lot of times we have it on camera. All I'm asking is that they be held accountable for their actions. I'm not asking for any more, any less than what I rightly deserve. And what these owners are doing to Colin Kaepernick, this is what you see. Owners would rather lose, have their season go down the tube, that they start to get hurt, as opposed to signing this young man who's more than willing and competent to do the job. They say we might need help, but not your help, Cap. And that's what we're seeing. And it's a shame. Richard Sherman spoke the truth, the absolute truth, because, and Michael Bennett had some great quotes in the article. I suggest people Jerry Bell did a great job of writing this for USA Today. Michael Bennett has some great, he said, this is why we see such divisiveness in the NFL. Let me expand upon that, Michael. The NFL and sports are a microcosm of society. I believe race is the greatest issue that's facing America, more than health care.
Agreed.
More than taxes.
Agreed.
All this other stuff.
Yep.
Because right now, what we're seeing in America is that minorities, let me put it in football terms, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Skip. If you get the ball on the 2-yard line, and you drive to midfield, and you were to look back, you're like, damn, we came a long way. But in order to get the ultimate payday, you still got 50 yards to go to get the ball to the end zone. So while blacks and minorities have come a very long way, but when you look off to the horizon, you realize, damn, we still got a long way.